These are the Chat City interviews from 103.2 Preston FM.
And my guest in the studio now is Debbie Stuart, and Debbie's from Community Engagement Team, and telling us a little about Community Work Club. So Debbie, a very good morning.
Good morning.
Lovely to see you on a nice warm morning.
Thank you.
And tell us a little about community work clubs. You know, are they in operation? Are they local or across the county?
Yeah, well, they're local to Preston. The ones I'm talking about today. There's 13 of them now. They're run by community organisations and mainly run by volunteers who give their time up to do this. There is a grant available from Job Centre Plus, a setting up grant, which enables them to buy a printer, maybe some pen drives, some laptops and things like that. But from then on, they take it from there themselves. They're there, they help people do a CV, fill in an application form. They'll help them with interview skills or practice, because some people haven't worked for some time for various reasons. They'll help them build their confidence up again, or anything else really related to getting work, seeking work. It's not just for people that are out of work. It might be somebody that wants to have a career change. So they can also go to the work clubs. Nobody's turned away. And they're open. There is a work club, or more than one work club on one day open, Monday to Friday every week.
And are they based in community centres in various areas?
They are, yes. We've got there's some places that they are community centres, or a housing association community hubs. The BME community places like Preston Muslim Forum, and Sahara, which is for ladies only, down in Fishwick. There's the Harris Library in the centre of town. There's one at Moornook, which is also a housing association community hub. And there's churches like St Matthew's Mission on Acregate Lane, which in fact were the first work club to open.
And I mean, what is also, I suppose, nice about this is often they know the locality and they know the people, and maybe people feel quite at ease. Also it's nice being able to go along somewhere where it is local, maybe, if you do need that kind of help. So how long have they been running now? A few years?
As I said, the one at St Matthew's Mission on Acregate Lane opened in 2012. And quite a few of them have opened from there onwards. So they've been up and running a couple of years, most of them now. And it is great for people to be able to go to a local venue where they feel comfortable. And they don't have to pay out for bus fare and things like that, because if people are out of work, they're struggling for money. It saves them having to catch buses, etc., etc. And then there's a time element there also. So we feel that they're very community friendly. They'll often give people a cup of tea or coffee. There's biscuits there. There's a lot of one-to-one goes on privately. And socially, people can chat because they're all mainly in the same position. And we just feel like they are well attended. So there's obviously a high demand for this service to be provided. And like I said, mainly it's voluntarily done.
So it's actually mainly run by local people who have set themselves up with others, so they've come together as a kind of community group to help people.
That's correct. I mean, mainly I have to say most of the groups were already there offering other services, but they've decided to also run a work club from their venue. The climate being as it is, and there's an awful lot of people out of work. And as we've said, I think it's a comfortable place for people to go. They don't feel intimidated if it's just round the corner from their home. It might be that they already use the venue where it's at, even if it's just to go to a Sunday church service at the church. But that makes people more comfortable to do that.
And if you're not used to doing a CV, then can be quite important, can't it, to have somebody to help you with that CV? Or maybe if you've been out of work for some time and your self-esteem is quite low, and you're not too positive thinking about the future, then again it's nice to somebody who can help you with those kinds of things, in looking towards the future and towards employment of some kind.
Yes, these people, they really do work very, very hard, and a CV and an application form these days, I have to say, gone on the days where you could maybe pop your head round the door and there was a notice on the door saying staff required, and you had a quick chat with somebody, and if they thought you seemed okay, they hired you. Gone are the days. So just searching for work on the websites can be very time consuming and very difficult if you're not used to using a computer. So they can also help people, guide them through how to use the computer on the basic side. The CV is very, very important. Some companies do ask for only a CV, and that would be what got you an interview. Application forms can be very daunting, absolutely huge. And you may have somebody that's not worked for a long time. They have been working, they've been working in the same job for a number of years and then unfortunately find themselves redundant. So they've never looked for work for a long, long time, even though they've been working. So yeah, the huge things, application forms, CV, and so important to get that interview that you want, to try and sell yourself and convince that company that you should get that job. So they do an invaluable job, these people. They're absolutely fantastic.
And you mentioned there are grants available, so does that mean that you would like to see more community work clubs set up in other parts of the city, etc.?
Yes, there are certain parts of the city that don't have a local work club in them, and as I said, there is a set-up grant available. People can contact myself to speak to me about that, and they do need to be a constituted group where they have a bank account, etc., etc. So, but I'm happy to chat to anybody about it and help them to set a work club up if that's what they would like to do.
And as you said, some of the groups who are already operating were themselves a community group before they actually got involved with the work club, is that right?
That's correct, yes, they are. I mean, to get the funding to set the work club up, they would need to have a bank account for monies to be paid in, etc., etc. So.
And you say they're well attended, so more and more people are going along, are they, to get support from work clubs?
Yes, I was at St Matthew's Mission a couple of weeks ago. The MP Mark Kendrick visited the work club there, and they can often get between 22 and 25 people coming at one time. I think that's probably the highest they've had. But people tend to go back, because once they've made the first step of walking through the door, meeting the people and see how friendly they are and how informal it all is and how much help that they're prepared to give them, they'll go back and back and back. So
what if people are going back to the work club? Are there other things that are on offer to them, until they actually find, hopefully, that employment? Is there other things take place within the community work clubs?
Yeah, they can get people in if there was a need for a few people wanted to see a careers advisor, things like that. They could bring somebody in to talk to them about that, or make arrangements for them to meet a local career advisor if they wanted to know maybe what if they were making a career change, or they had a particular career in mind that they may need certain qualifications for and things like that. They could direct them, the careers advisors could direct them as to what college they need to go to and which qualifications that they would need to do to follow that path. So there is other help out there also.
Right. Is there a website where people can look to find out where the work clubs are situated, etc.?
Well, it's on the Preston City Council website. If people type in work clubs, it will come up. The full list will come up. There are leaflets around at different venues, but certainly in the reception area of Town Hall, a very central place, there's always lots of leaflets out in there. And it lists all the work clubs, what days they're open, what times, and the telephone numbers. And I always advise maybe to try and give them a call before they go if they're unsure about where they're going, etc., etc. But the leaflets are kept up to date. And as I've said, there's 13 now in Preston, which I think is absolutely fantastic.
That's right. And as you say, maybe more in the future.
Yes.
And it's for people of all ages?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, anybody of any age can go in, no problem. Nobody will ever be turned away.
And if people do, as we were saying, want to find out more, maybe somebody was interested or some group in looking at setting a community work club up. Again, Debbie, you said they could contact you. How's the best way to get in touch with you?
Yeah, they can contact me. My telephone number is Preston 01772 903 404. If I wasn't in the office, a colleague of mine would pick the telephone call up and take a message, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. And I do have an email address for people that use a computer, which is d.stuart, spelt Stuart, at preston.gov.uk.
Lovely. Well, can I thank you for coming in this morning? It's been nice to meet you, and thanks for coming on Chat City.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening. We hope you've enjoyed the interviews as much as we have. Why not give us a tweet at Chat City PFM?